And a good evening. Welcome out to Little Woodrow's. Time now to talk Lamar University football. I'm Harold Mann, along with Lamar football coach Pete Rossomando of the nationally ranked, got that, nationally ranked Lamar Cardinals, ranked number 22 in the country this week in the FCS poll. First time ever Lamar football has been ranked in the top 25. How about that? Coach, last week, number 20, Weber State comes to town, and you guys get that 1-point win. It just overall, I mean, defensively, you couldn't have asked for much more. One of their scores was a defensive score. You guys just did a great job defensively.
Yeah, they played really well, and they needed to because we sputtered a lot on offense in the red zone, and I think we were 1 for 3 down there. So the defense had to play well, and they certainly did. And they played well on field goal block too, where they blocked one, disrupted one, and then at the end I think the kicker was just way out of sorts.
Well, you look at the defensive player of the week, by the way, DeJuan Lewis, for the Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Week. 11 tackles, 6 of those 11 were solos.
Yeah, D-Lou played well. He's a safety that plays down in a lot. That defends the run, and it was great that he was able to make tackles. We'd missed a lot of tackles in the secondary, and I think we had 6 missed tackles on Saturday night, which is a record for us here. So great job by all those guys, him, Christian Pugh, Antorius Hambrick, all those guys that came in and played really, really well for us.
And we talked about this Monday a little bit with your weekly presser, looking at the stat sheets, and that's what everybody does. That's human nature. You look at the stat sheets, who got this many yards rushing, who had this many tackles. Sometimes there's some names that don't have the numbers by them that did a good job for you. And I think Caleb Williams was one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean he didn't factor in as far as tackles and things like that, but he had a visceral effect on the game for sure, and you could feel him in there and knocking back the offensive line from the opposite team, and really him, Jamin Jackson as well, did a great job on that goal line stand of knocking the offensive lineman back and really gave us a free shot at that running back. So those two guys did a great job, and then Reggie Brooks on the offensive line played well. Probably played his best game as a Cardinal for us, so it was great that those guys up front are starting to play well. Obviously, 2 weeks in a row, we've rushed the ball for 200 yards.
You talked about Jamin, him along with Ramon Stevens. Each had 8 tackles, each one 3 tackles behind the conference defensive player of the week, DeJuan, and then Christian Pugh, our local kid out of Beaumont Westbrook. He had 7 tackles.
Yeah, Christian's been, obviously the picture of consistency for us and since I've been here, and plays every game and really has played a majority of the snaps for us this year. So Christian's always done a great job for us. He's a very natural football player. He gets it, he understands it. He's really like a coach on the field for us.
Another situation I want to talk about a little bit, coach's decisions. I love the decision. Of course, unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Cardinals. You have a 4th down a yard inside the 5-yard line, up by a point. Instead of going for the field goal to make it a 4-point lead, you decided to go for it. And unfortunately, it didn't come through for you. But, Coach, I love the aggressiveness. I love that decision. Although it didn't work out, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have loved it if we lost, but everybody loves it when you win. But the decision was we were running the football at a pretty good clip, and I thought that we could put it in the end zone, if not, get the first down. And unfortunately, we didn't do a good enough job to get it. So, but we knew it would give them a long field to drive, and we had a lot of confidence in our defense. And unfortunately, they went 97.5, but they didn't get the last half.
Yeah, so. They needed 98.
Yeah,
they needed
right.
98, and they got 97.5. On that 4th down, they decided to go for it instead of kicking it to try to take the lead. Obviously, you made the right call on your defensive front. That running back, is out of Katy, Texas. He was the Big Sky Conference Offensive Player of the Week, and you guys slammed the door shut on him twice.
Yeah, it's players, not plays. Trust me. The players made the plays. They always make the plays come alive. And we called. We had our goal line call in, and Jamin knocked the guy back. He knocked off the pulling guard coming around, and Ken Savannah shot it like a cannon and tackled the guy for a 1-yard loss and gave us the opportunity to have the ball, to end the game with the ball, I should say.
Right.
Which we didn't do.
But you didn't, but still, you had the opportunity. They were out of timeout, so you got the opportunity to run the football 3 times. Basically with your QB lining up in the end zone along with Kalen, your running back and quarterback, both line up in the end zone. Yeah. And just get some breathing room there away from that goal line.
Yeah, I mean, the first down we got, I think, a 4-yard gain, and then, we fell a little bit short of the first down, and, the decision was to punt the ball for sure. We did, and then Damian Alexander made an incredible play on that punt to down the ball at the 50-yard line, and then really our defense kind of just took over. There was a couple of, not called penalties on that drive, but what are you gonna do?
Some holding.
No, there was a block in the back on that last play would let the quarterback get out of bounds. So,
all right, and again, special teams come up with a big block as we talked about. Christian Booker is the special teams player of the week.
Yeah, I know. 1 block kick, and he's special teams player of the week. That just kind of tells you how important that block was for us as a team. And really, again, what it did was, I think, rattled the kicker. I think he felt like, hey, I better get this ball away faster. And whenever they do that, they mess up their system.
What about at the end, your philosophy when a kicker's lining up to kick a potential game-winning field goal, calling timeout to ice him?
We didn't have one.
Right, I know you didn't have one, but obviously you would have.
Maybe, maybe.
What's your philosophy on that?
It depends. I don't think I would have done it with this guy because he was so rattled anyway. It wouldn't have really mattered. So
yeah, because he'd hit the upright on an extra point.
Hit the upright on an extra point.
How often do you see that in college football, the NFL? Someone misses an extra point, and us announcers will say that could come back to haunt them later.
Well, the NFL that's a 30-yard field goal.
Yeah.
For us, it's really 20 yards, and should be pretty automatic, but it isn't always.
Again, the Cardinals over Weber State, and that final again out at the Provost Humphrey Stadium, 17-16. Really excited. We had a good crowd out there, but obviously we need more. We need more fans out there, but you gave them all the way down to the last second.
Yeah, I would say they got their money's worth for sure. I would say that we need more, yes, but I appreciate the people that were there. We definitely had more students in the student section than we've ever seen before.
That's awesome.
And they were engaged in the game, and that's always fun to see. And we have our sports teams that are there supporting us, and we do the same for them. And it's great to see things moving in the right direction everywhere. But on to the next one, I would say, right?
That is it. And the next one will be Texas State. Texas Southern. I want Texas State here. I want Texas State here. No, we're good. They're off the schedule. We want Texas Southern coming up on Saturday at 6. Again, we are at Little Woodrow's talking Lamar University football with Coach Pete Rossomando. Cardinals getting set to take on Texas Southern. That'll be a 6 o'clock kickoff coming up on Saturday at Provost Humphrey Stadium. Final 6 o'clock kickoff after here on forward. Moving on forward, every home game the remaining home games will be at 3 in the afternoon. Again, talking about that very nice, exciting 17-16 win over Weber State. Jumped off to that 10-0 lead following Chris's 23-yard field goal. Savon on a pass comes back to a football, made a really nice catch.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play. I mean, that was actually Longino's first play. Rob had gotten hurt. He tried to come back in. They said, no, you got to sit out or play. So we called the play that we've been running, and he felt pretty good about. And he went in, and he just delivered the ball, man, right in a great spot. And Savon made a great contested play. There was actually a penalty on the play for pass interference. Yeah. So it was a great play. That's a big-time play.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I've slept since then. Didn't Rob come back out for the remainder of the first half, and then in the second half it was all Longino?
He did. He came back in. He tried to give it a go, but it wasn't smart for him in that game to continue to play. So, we made the move to put Jacoby in. And I think, we felt really good about his week of preparation and where he was. So we thought that was the best move for the football team.
Nothing's perfect, but as near as a perfect of a play you could call was the 72-yard pass from Longino to Damian Moore. And downfield, Savon makes a great block to push him the rest of the way in the end zone. Talk about that play, setting it up. And I tell you, we saw some speed from Moore that of course, we don't see him every day.
Yeah.
That we finally saw what speed he has.
Yeah, it was, again, I'll say it, players, not plays. That was great read by Gino. It was a good route, delivered the ball on time, in stride, and he accelerated, and then there was Savon there to make the touchdown block. And so it was all executed by the players. It was a good play call by Coach Fleming, and, he knew they were going to be in man coverage, so that was one of those plays that we like to use against man coverage.
Go into the locker room at midway point, tied at 10s. What'd you talk about?
Yeah, at the end, I just really said to the guys, hey, man, we're right where we wanted to be. It's really 0-0. We got 2 quarters of play, and whoever plays best in these next 2 quarters, that'll decide the game. So let's go out there, and I said, let's come back in and sing our fight song, and that's what we did.
Third quarter, early in the third quarter, they take a lead, miss the extra point, went up 16-10 on you. Didn't seem to phase you a bit. You just went back out there and continued to work hard.
Yeah, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
They scored a touchdown. That happens sometimes. It was the first time in the game they scored, and we just had to respond as a team, and we did, and we were able to get on top and kind of kept the lead the rest of the way.
Again, taking a look at some of the offensive guys that stepped up for you. Kalen, another tough evening of running the football for him.
Yeah, it's always it all starts with the guys up front and the tight ends. Those guys got to play well. If they don't play well, we don't have a chance to run the ball. But, the great part about KG, he runs the ball with a purpose. When he's got the ball in his hand, it's going to be a physical run. And he's able to always break that first tackle. And I think every O-lineman appreciates that.
You talk about players coming back. Number 81 back out there for you.
Yeah, it was
Devin
good to
Gibbs.
see Devin out there and playing full time. And he looked at me at halftime. He's like, man, I'm out of shape. I need to get back in playing shape. I said, well, that's why we're doing this, man. We got to get you back in shape.
6'6", 245, and
yeah. He's a weapon, for sure.
And out of Maybank, a smaller school in East Texas. And, of course, he rode with us, had a chance to visit with him quite a bit before the Texas State game. And he was chomping at the bit. And he was wanting to play in that game so bad. But he understood it might be a bit too soon.
Yeah.
But he even showed me, I go, what happened? He shows me a photo of his ankle getting twisted and whatever happened to it. And kids that compete like that, you got to love because, he's hobbling and go, I want to play. But couldn't go on that one, but getting more and more plays each week.
Well, I think it's like any great player, it's how you attack. How you attack one thing is how you attack everything. And that's the way he goes about his business every day on the field, in the meeting room, in the weight room, in the classroom is always top notch. I never had any doubt that he would attack rehab the exact same way, and he did. And he's out there 2 weeks before the doctor said he would be out there, and he's playing well, and he's feeling good. And, I think that's a testament to him and the way he approaches it. And that's why they're great leaders on our football team.
And you're talking about a 6'6" kid, 245, high school quarterback.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being at a smaller school in East Texas? Could you imagine being a smaller classification defensive guy looking saying, oh my?
Yeah, I think he was 208 when he got to Lamar, though. I don't think he was he wasn't quite 240, but
so he's had some training in the weight room.
So he's eaten a couple meals and he's gotten in some weight. So yeah, he's definitely doing way better now.
So you think you think a couple of Big Macs along the way could have helped?
Yeah, I would think. Yeah, a couple big. Knowing him, he's probably a Canes guy. He's probably a Canes, getting some of those 3-piece boxes or something like that.
He's not the only former quarterback playing a different position for you.
No, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of guys. Isaiah and Cash Cross. And, we got some guys that have played quarterback. Major Bowden.
Major won a state championship his senior year.
Yeah, but he wasn't really a quarterback, though. But they were just direct snapping him the ball.
And going. You tried that a couple times last week where
Yeah.
you did a shift to kind of jump to the left a little bit.
Yeah.
Went to the wild. I don't say wildcat. I say wild cardinal formation. And had you been working on that all week?
We've always had it in. He can handle that sort of stuff. You know, obviously his dad's a coach. His brother's a coach. Really smart kid. I think he's going to be a coach when he's done playing. He's just one of those guys that can handle a lot of stuff.
Special teams. Talk about it a little bit against.
I was really proud of our block team. Both block teams, punt block and field goal block. Not great, not crazy about our coverage teams. I thought that our punt coverage was suspect. Kickoff coverage was, we lacked, I would say, detail and accountability in it. We need to get better at that. So, we focused a lot. We always focus on special teams, but especially on our coverage teams.
Looking at the penalties. Last week, you had 18, brought them down.
Yeah, we're way down. I think we're at 6. I think we're at 6 penalties, and, really 2 of them, we could have avoided. They were after the whistle type stuff. So, our guys did a good job. They knew we were serious about it, and we talked about discipline, and you're not going to have a chance to win a big game if you don't play with great discipline, and we played with better discipline. We're not there yet. We're not perfect, but I think we're moving in that direction.
Now you've had 3 games under your belt with the 2-minute timeout. Your thoughts on it 3 games in?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, you got to be there.
It kind of catches you by surprise a little bit sometimes. You're like 2-minute timeout. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember it happened near the. I think it might have been near the end of the game. I'm like, why are they calling timeout? Oh yeah, dummy.
Yeah.
Get to 2024.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna recap the Weber State game. Just give yourself a report card on overall play.
Overall, as a team, I would say we were probably B+. I think anytime you can get a win over a quality opponent, I think that's a great win. But I do think there was a lot of room for improvement on all sides, especially offensively and special teams. I think we could have fixed a lot of stuff. We need to do that this week, and hopefully our defense just continues to build on 2 really good performances 2 weeks in a row.
All right, Harold Mann back with you. The Coach Pete Rossomando Show. Each and every Wednesday night here at Little Woodrose. We talk Lamar University football with Coach Rossomando. Again, the Cardinals coming off. Hey, did you hear this? The nationally ranked Lamar Cardinals getting set to take on Texas Southern. We are joined by Knox Boyd. Knox is a 6'4", 305-pounder out of Denton, Geyer, Texas. Knox, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.
Just talk about growing up playing for Geyer. I mean, Denton Geyer, year in and year out, you see them up at the Jury's World. They go deep in the playoffs. What was it like playing for a powerhouse like that in high school?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome growing up with such a community that backs up our high school football, and just being able to go state championship my junior year, semifinals my senior year, and just being able to play those big-time games in Jerry World was awesome.
How about the big rivalry, you and Denton? Is that a pretty big rivalry?
Well, it's Denton Ryan.
Okay, Denton Ryan. I'm sorry, you're correct. Denton Ryan and Denton Geyer. What's that like?
So we never played them until my senior year, because they're 5A, we were 6A. Mm-hmm. But, man, unfortunately we lost to them my senior year. But, yeah, I mean, it's really tough. But when we're not playing each other, we really support each other, though, throughout the other years that we don't play.
Now you left Denton Geyer, went out to Charlotte. Talk about your experience there, red shirt, and just talk about that year out there.
Yeah, so I decided to go out to Charlotte because they kind of a newer program, excited to see it. And then that's when I met Coach Ross. He was my offensive line coach. And then just really liked him and enjoyed his coaching style. And, it was a good time. It was my developmental couple years out there. So that's where I really sharpened my tools and gotten better. And when new coaching changed, Coach Ross got this head coaching job down there in Lamar, and hey, that's a little closer to home.
Come back to Texas, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back to Texas.
Why couldn't I get that? So.
What's that like coming back to your home state and playing? Because the family's only, 4.5, 5-hour drive down here to Southeast Texas. It's better than going out to Charlotte.
Hours,
Going out to Charlotte, North Carolina. What's it like to be able to have the family come in?
Yeah, it's way better because I love it when my parents and my family come to games and stuff, and this makes it way more accessible for them to come out. And it's better than having to fly every weekend and a lot cheaper, but no, it's great having.
When you arrived on Lamar University, obviously came here to take a look at it before you transferred in. What attracted you? Of course, your familiarity with Coach Ross helps out, but just a little bit about what really made you say, I want to be a Lamar Cardinal.
Yeah, first off that popped out for me were just the facilities and the buildings, everything we had here. Team room and weight room and all that is maybe even better than what we had at Charlotte. And so that was really exciting for me, and just kind of the smaller town feel. I really like enjoying everybody's more tight knit around here. I know a lot of more people here than I did at Charlotte, and I think that's really attractive for me.
Talking with Cardinal offensive lineman Knox Boyd, nationally ranked. That's got to be pretty cool to look at the rankings and see you're ranked number 22. But you, as a coaching staff, on down to everybody in the team, knows that's just a number on a piece of paper. You got to take care of business on the field.
Right, yeah, that's not enough. We have ranked, I think, 8 Central Arkansas coming up, and that has to be a win for us to be able to climb that ladder. And right now, like you said, it's just a number. We're not worried about that right now. What we're worried about is first getting that conference championship and going 1-0 every single week.
What's it going to take to bring a Southland Conference championship to Lamar University in Southeast Texas?
Just taking every game one at a time. Right now, we're focused on Texas Southern, going out there and just beating those guys, and then next week we'll be on Central Arkansas. It's just taking each practice, each day, one at a time, and being able to perfect our craft each and every day.
Let's jump back to high school real quick. Your biggest high school memory?
Biggest high school memory has to be my junior year, second round of playoffs. We played Cedar Hill at Jerry's World, and in the third quarter, we were down 42-14.
Were you really?
And we got 3 onside kicks in a row, ended up beating them 50-42.
And you said as a team, we want to come back here later on, and you did.
Yeah.
Is that the year you won state?
That's when we went to state, and unfortunately we lost Austin Westlake.
Oh, yeah, Chaparrals, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit else. Let's talk. Of course, you still have more time and years to come here at Lamar, but once you leave Lamar, what would you like to do? What's the future of Knox Boyd?
So right now I'm majoring in civil engineering. So hopefully we're looking towards doing something in that area. Probably looking at kind of the military route right now, but right now I'm still open to all options.
When you were growing up, did you have an idol? Who'd you look up to? It doesn't necessarily have to be a football player, but who'd you look up to growing up?
Yeah, really my parents really supported me, and I always liked looking up to them. And then I felt like especially like I said at Geyer, we had it's such a tradition to be good. So I always looked up to the guys older than me. Like when I was a freshman there was an offensive lineman there named John Lands that I really looked up to, and he helped me kind of prepare to fill his role when he left. And I just had those older guys helping me out there.
Any pregame rituals?
I like to go walk the field. I'll go walk all the way down, and if it's an away game, I'll start punching the field goal post.
Make sure the padding's on it, okay?
Of course, yeah. But if it's an away game, I'll kind of give it a little love tap, a little hug.
Favorite singer? Your go-to music?
So, recently I've been getting into rock, but I can't lie. My favorite band of all time is Chicago.
Oh, that's for someone your age. That's amazing.
No, yeah.
But that you got a good choice there. Chicago's a great choice. Favorite meal?
Whew. If you look at me, I like a lot of stuff. So
anything in front of you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you cook?
Yeah.
What's your specialty?
So I have this stuff called redneck spaghetti, which I actually found this recipe off of a TikTok.
What goes in redneck spaghetti?
So it's ramen noodles, beef, like ground beef, jalapenos, onions, green onions, and you pretty much just all mix it up. And when you're done, put some mozzarella cheese on it, and it's good.
Do you have a dog?
Back home I do, yeah.
Would the dog eat the redneck spaghetti?
Sure.
Absolutely. All right. Knox Boyd, here's a time for you to call out some of your teammates.
Okay.
Best singer on the team, Worst singer on the team.
Best singer on the team. I think, I don't really know.
Or you could go the other route, someone who thinks they could sing, but they're like me and can't sing at all.
I think Eli Ripley likes to try to sing, but it just doesn't sound too good.
All right, let's go dancing.
Dancing.
Who has the moves? Who thinks they do but don't?
I will say JaVale Robertson has some good moves. He always gets active in the lifts, and whenever we have some song playing, he's always loving it.
Who can't bust it?
Shoot. I think Cade Verdon. Cade Verdon cannot dance.
Right. I don't know if any coaches are tuned in. So this question is just between you and I, nobody else.
Right.
What coach can you beat in arm wrestling?
Whew. Coach Matt Canada, the offensive line coach.
You want to take on your position coach?
Yeah.
All right, and finally, 10, 15 years, you're down the road, you're married, got a couple of kids, you and the wife want to go out on the town. Which one of your current teammates are going to babysit your kids, and which one of your current teammates are you not going to let near your kids?
Let's see. I think I would let like Eli Ripley. I think I'd let him babysit my kid. He's kind of just the chill guy. He's our center.
All right, now who's not getting near your kids?
I'm gonna have to say Andre Dennis, because he is a crazy dude, and I can't.
Your kids would probably teach him stuff.
Right.
All right. Hey, Knox, thank you so much stopping by. Good luck Saturday against Texas Southern. This is Knox Boyd, offensive lineman for the Lamar Cardinals. We're rejoined by Coach Pete Rossomando on News Talk 560 KLVI. Talking Lamar University football. Cardinals getting set to take on Texas Southern. That'll be coming up on Saturday at 6 o'clock out of Provost Humphrey Stadium. Coach, before we talk about Texas Southern, Saturday's opponent, let's talk about the young guy you just had up here, Knox Boyd. Just talk about him in a little bit and what's the impact he has on your football team.
Tremendous leader, great young man, good football player. He's a complete package. Great family, love his mom and dad. I've known him now, just going on year 4 for me. So I had him for 2 years at Charlotte, and then he transferred over here when I got here. So it's always a pleasure coaching him because he wants to be great. He wants to do everything to be elite. And, you love having guys that have talent that are able to do that, to come with that same attitude every day. And, he's able to do that. So it's super impressive.
And his work ethic from the practice field, game day, to the weight room. Talk about that.
Oh, he's an incredible weight room guy. And he's a great team leader, quite honestly. And for a long time, he was a leader by example. And I think over the last 8 months, he's become just a leader overall. He's verbalizes, gets the guys moving when they need to. I always said, you're not a good team until your leaders come from the offensive line. And we got 3 quality leaders in JaVale Roberson, Knox Boyd, and Eli Ripley. 3 guys that I feel like are great leaders for our football team.
Now, here's a guy in his early 20s. Did you hear his answer when I asked him what his favorite music was and his favorite singer?
No.
Chicago. That's us old guys' music. I love it. I love that he likes Chicago.
I'm a big Chicago guy, too.
Absolutely.
I saw him live in concert at Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, man, I saw him in Houston. And finally, I asked him who he could beat in arm wrestling. Who do you think he chose?
Rob?
His position coach.
Coach Canada.
Yeah?
I don't know. Coach Canada's a pretty strong guy. He went in and benched over 300 pounds. Yeah, never touched a weight in 3 years. So
that could be a future challenge down the road. But, again, thanks for bringing him by. A good example of the character on your football team.
Amen. Yep.
All right, Texas Southern coming to town. They beat Prairie View 27-9. They beat Rice they lost to Rice 69-7. Had an off week, and coming here on Saturday. Talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, coming here on rest, that's always, a little bit makes you uneasy as a coach when they got 2 weeks to prepare. And I think Coach Dishman has got those guys moving in an incredible direction. Obviously, to go out and beat your rival in the opener when they haven't done that in, I think, 7 or 8 years shows that he's got to move it in the right direction. And, they have a plan on both sides of the ball and special teams. And, they're going to be well rested for sure. So it's going to be quite a challenge for us.
Looks like their quarterback, a big kid, 6'5", 215, a kid by the name of K.J. Cooper. What's he going to show you?
He's a dual threat guy all the way. I mean, he's got really good touch on the football, and he can throw it down the field, but he can also run. He's not a runner per se, but he can run. He's kind of like our quarterbacks. They're talented runners, but they're not runners. He's like that, and he really gives their offense a chance to be really dynamic.
And he's got several different receivers he goes to. There's not one in particular, and that makes it a little more difficult to cover.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his guys that he likes for sure, and I think there's 2 guys out there that he really likes to target, tight end being one of them, who's a really dynamic football player. Number 7 is I think he's 6'4", 220, can really run, catch, so I think that's a good target for him. And they got a super talented running back, number 21. I think the guy is really good with the ball in his hands, and they got a big group up front that moves the line of scrimmage. And if you don't hunker down in there, man, they're going to create some space for that running back.
You talk about that running back. It's Danny Green, good size kid at 5'11", 195.
Yeah, no, he runs that way. He runs behind his pads, and he breaks the first tackle usually, a lot like Kalen. And so it's going to be a challenge for sure for our defense.
Okay, now for their defense, what are we going to see when the Cardinals have the football?
You're going to see 4 NFL bodies on the D-line. I mean, they are an impressive-looking group, and they play together, and they play physical, and they run to the football, and as many times you turn the film on and you stop it when the guy goes down, and there's 11 guys in the frame. And I always say that's a sign of a good defense. And they're a little undersized at linebacker. They play with great speed though and tenacity. And Coach Dishman's a DB. Played for the Oilers, and so their DBs are going to be well schooled.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't know Chris Dishman, the old some Oiler fans might remember that. He's the head coach of Texas Southern. He's in his first year there, so he's rebuilding a program.
Yeah, and I know what he's going through. I did it a year ago, and I really think he's doing it the right way. What I can see on film, and I always think those are easy to see on film, and I think there's not a lot of discipline penalties, not a lot of pre-snap penalties, and I think all that really it bodes well for his leadership.
In the SWAC, year in and year out, a good athletic conference, and they have that. They're good football.
Yeah, it's really good football and talented players and guys that really can really mess up a game for you. So.
And again, that is a 6 o'clock kickoff, final 6 o'clock kickoff of the year before we move to 3 o'clock. Special team-wise, what will they show you? Anything in particular that might keep you on your heels a little bit?
They got a kick returner that's averaging over 28 yards a return, which that's pretty darn good. And, we're going to be really smart and try to kick it away from him and try to give us an opportunity with our, because our kickoff coverage, to be honestly, has been disappointing. So we have to do a much better job on the kickoff coverage unit against them. And, punter, kicker, both really solid and can get the ball through the uprights. And punter does a good job of getting the ball away on time. And, I think we're gonna have to play really well on special teams because they got athletes everywhere.
Again, that's Texas Southern coming up on Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff. You talk about special teams. Of course, you work on special teams all the time. Was there more work put in this week on special teams?
Not more work, more pointed work on specific things that we need to get better at.
All right, Coach, going to get our final break in and be back with more with Coach Pete Rossomando here at Little Woodrow's. Talk to you on the other side. We've got a handful of local kids on our team here.
Right now, for sure, yeah. I mean, Kindon, obviously one of your guys over at Nederland, and then we got, Andre Dennis, who hopefully will be making his way back this week. I
Christian
mean, yeah,
Pugh,
we got a ton of them. We got a ton of local guys. Christian Pugh and Morgan Sampson, who's making his way back this week from Orange Field. So we got some guys for sure.
And even up a little East Texas, Woodville, our UTSA transfer.
Oh yeah, let's go. That is the 409. I always forget that Woodville's the 409.
Yeah, that's 409.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Hyder. Yeah, he's Ja'Cory's had a great year so far. Proud of him. Proud of how mature he's gotten throughout the course of a year and continues to grow every day. He's a fun guy to be around.
You know, someone like Ja'Cory, again, a kid out of Woodville, just up the road, transferred from UTSA. You know, and when Devin was out those first 2 games, he stepped it up, filled that slot, and now you got not only 2 but 2 or 3 good guys that could go out there and fill that position.
Yeah, I mean, we got Devin, you got Ja'Cory, you got Sean Grayson, you got Morgan Sampson coming back. We have 2 outstanding freshmen that we think are going to be pretty special at the tight end position, who we're trying to bring along pretty quickly. So that, you know, as you probably know, that's our philosophy. We're going to use 2 tight ends and try to pound the ball and create some mismatches in the run game.
You know, speaking of the run game, you got a good 1-2 punch. Again, this is something we talked about earlier in the program, but in case someone jumping aboard here in our final segment, just a lot of experience now you're getting on this football team here in your second year. A lot of kids getting a lot of reps.
I mean, we have a four-way battle at running back, really. You got, you know, obviously you got KG, you got Damian Moore, you got Major Bowden, and you got Xavier Coleman. I think all 4 of those guys right now have played in every game. You know, Xavier gives us a little bit more dynamic stuff because he's played receiver before.
And he's back there on the kickoff return as well.
He's back there on kick return, and he's, you know, he's a dynamic football player. He's a fun kid to coach, man, because he's one of them guys that wants to be right, and he wants to be perfect, and he's detailed guy. He's looking over his scripts before practice. He wants to make sure he goes out there and he can play as fast as he can when it's time to go.
And what we saw before the game, in which I was down on the field prior to kickoff, we saw what could be some future Lamar Cardinals. You had some recruits there. Talk about what they go through on a Saturday.
Game day visit, yeah, pretty good. I mean, they start off in the basketball arena, as you know, one of the more impressive arenas in the area, and you know, in our conference. And then they move over to our football facility. They get a tour. They go out and do tour campus, come back for the game, get on the sideline, watch warm-ups, hang out, and then at game time they go into the stands. Great opportunity for them to see our guys, get a chance to watch them warm up, and then get an opportunity to spend some time with the coaches before they have to go out to the field.
Now, how many times can a recruit visit a campus?
They can visit as many times as they want on their own dime, and we can pay for them one time for an official visit.
And will we see some more out there this coming Saturday?
Yeah, you'll see. This one was more of a 409 day. The next one will be more really statewide in Louisiana. So you'll see a lot more guys on the sideline.
And that's something, I mean, we're a rock's way of throw just across the Sabine. You're in Louisiana. We got a handful of Louisiana kids that make impact on this football team.
We do, and Louisiana's got great football. It's, you know, very similar to Texas as far as the athletes they put out, and they've been very welcoming to us. You know, we have 4 teams in Louisiana from our conference, so
right.
You know, sometimes that's a little detriment when you're trying to recruit guys. And you know, I learned a long time ago that the more schools in your conference that a recruit's got to drive by to get to yours, the chances go down. Way down where they're going to come to your place.
Yeah, but you could also go to somebody in an area and say, hey, we're coming at least twice. You could come back here as a visitor and play in that on your home field, your school field.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of stuff to offer. For the people that have been, they know, you know, we had a bunch of renovations going on this summer, and we have a bunch more next year. And
your meeting room looks outstanding, by the way.
The meeting room is top-notch. It's top of the line. The weight room is, you know, all top-of-the-line equipment now. We've increased the space. You know, we're going to redo our locker room next year, and we're in the process of raising funds to do that. So we're in a good spot from a facility. We have great bones. We just want to upgrade everything and update everything and get it back into modern time football.
All right, again, Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff. Folks, got to get out there, 880-1715. Buy your tickets. This is a nationally ranked football team. Get out and see them, because, I mean, the more the better.
Yeah, the more the better. You know, we appreciate all of our fans who come out every week and come here.
Including here, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
This is amazing. I mean, I think this has doubled since the first one we've done, and they've been really great and supportive of our program, all the Lamar program. And really what we really have wanted and we're starting to get right now is the support of our students. And, you know, more of it comes from our players. We tell our players, you got to be ambassadors for your own program. And they're not going to come just because you're good. They're going to come because they have a personal relationship with you. So they need to get out, and they've done a great job, and they've gotten students in the stands. So we're fired up. We need it to be loud. Amy Hooks, who's our softball coach and great football fan, tells me that third down has got to get louder in Provo Humphrey Stadium. Got to get louder.
You need to let her call a play.
She can call a play.
Sometimes you need to let her call a play for you.
Heck yeah.
There you go. Coach, thank you so much again. Getting set to take on Texas Southern. What time's the walkthrough? From the dining hall to the stadium.
Yeah, what time?
Yeah.
We got pregame meal at 2:45, and then we walk over at 3:15. Right through Keith Hankey's tailgate, Knox Boyd's dad, Chris Boyd. We walk right through there. And
do you grab a burger on your way by?
No. I'm not a big eater on game day. After the game, I'll eat something, but my stomach's a mess. So.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. And don't forget, it's a 6 o'clock kickoff with the Cardinals and Texas Southern. Cardinals hit the road the following week, have a bye week, so it's going to be a while before you can see them again. Come on out. Check out the Cardinals Saturday, 6 o'clock against Texas Southern. Coach, we'll see you Saturday. And we'll see all of you Saturday at Provo Humphrey Stadium. Then we're right back here next Wednesday night at 7.
Thanks, Harold.
All right, thank you.